everyone has the tools to do it. It's just being realized at that moment of consciousness. And the fastest way to get there is you're only limited by your imagination.
Right.
And so that imagination is key to all things. That imagination is key to the power that you have within you. Welcome to the consciousness of the way. Come on in, you beautiful beings. My divine, delectable co-host, High Priestess Jade.
Howdy doody.
Howdy doody to you. And I am your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn, on this most magical, mystical revelation that is absent of time and space.
Ooh.
Well, that's really the misconception, the sleight of hand, the three Monty delusional state that most people are in, which is there is such a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And once you understand space-time is optional, all of a sudden your reality changes dramatically. Realizing that it's all an illusion, this holographic simulation that you perceive as your reality. And you test that, like as we do at the end of every podcast, we give you an exercise to realize the amplitude of the energy. Just like there's an amplitude of energy right now, just by me speaking. That all has to do with the crafting and the creating of a much deeper understanding of this frequency that we speak of, energy, vibration, which is basically the same as a thought, feeling, and emotion, all realized instantaneously in this moment right now. And so how do you create the power of that? How is that realized so it's tangible, so you can affect change in this 3D reality? Oh, yeah.
Do tell.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is part of the powerful integrated systems that we use as Taoists. Neigong, qigong. Neigong, moving energy with your mind. Qigong, moving energy with your breath. These become palpable. Just me speaking on them, you are now accessing a frequency that is equivalent to thousands of years, as I am the catalyst conduit of that very ancestral, indigenous cultivation that has been going on for thousands of years. And you expose yourself to the rippling effects of that. And that integration is then realized within your field, within the energy that you possess, that you tap into. And that's kind of like how we talk about this signaling that people get into when they're reading cards, when they're using pendulums, when they're using tuning forks, when they're tapping into, what people sort of talk about, mediumship or channeling, or, there's sort of like this need to compartmentalize things. And I personally, having done this for, over 30 years, it's important to understand and decipher the information, but you understand that it comes to you almost instantaneously as you level up in your consciousness. You don't have to be concerned or fearful that you're not doing it right. being afraid of yourself is a double negative, which is really how people sort of frame this stuff. Well, you're a medium, and then you're a channel, and then you're a psychic, and then, I mean, okay, really? It comes down to how quickly you can apply, accept, and allow within your consciousness, overriding your unconscious behavior. So the conscious, subconscious, unconscious, different grades of that, which in reflection to a Taoist is the three portals of the creation of the cosmos. Oh, where'd you slip that one in, Sifu? Yeah. So, we have this enveloping of these three entry points from the basically the three pure ones, which is supreme purity, jade purity, highest purity. And those three entry points, they're the keepers of the creation of the cosmos, which is the understanding of the Tao. The Tao is the mother of all things, materializing, transmuting, and realizing them from constellations within the universe that materialize as these immortal beings, then transmute and translate and create a physical manifestation walking on planet Earth, transmuted from generation to generation. Thousands of years these beings have existed, these spirit energies that we speak of, the soul of all things, which is basically, they're the soul of the universe. And here we have, this translation that is refined right down to, because when you understand you are the field is you, the universe is you, you are the universe, the translation of these subsections of your consciousness are nothing more than that. Shazam, put the three of them together and you materialize 100% consciousness is realized as being one with all, and your access is to everything instantaneously. So, you want to understand and decipher information at a much deeper level. You want to call in spirit energies. You want to be a complete conduit of this and transmit this information. You're around someone, read an energy, read their aura, read their mental, emotional state. It will be realized instantaneously. You will feel it. The transmutation of that through this 50 trillion cells is materialized as this flesh and blood that you realize as your physical body, is how all of a sudden you get this tangibility. It's like a hook. You got to hook into it. It's got to feel. You got to feel it. You have to be able to mold it, or it as a human being, you turn into this processing subsection, introspective, analytical, cynical, default fight or flight mechanism of humanness, and of course that creates limitations. You are separated from yourself, which is a double negative. There's no such thing. Yet you get up in your head and you run with the consciousness, which at that moment would be very limited in relation to degrees of, and you have this unconscious behavior that runs the show. And to realize that is like this. And so, of course, these gradients of consciousness, conscious, subconscious, unconscious, within Lao Tzu's, evolution of oneness, of being, it's simple. Conscious, concept, conscious knowing, unconscious knowing, and then being. All encompassing. And then, of course, we round everything up to a 9, so you are now going on levels of being. So once you hit being, which is one with all, then this is complete parallel with the dimensions that we speak of, which are levels of your consciousness. So you've leveled up to what would be first dimension, second dimension, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension being absent of time and space, being able to create and experience and simulate all things at once. And then You just amplify that and repeat that. Rinse, wash, and repeat. Rinse, wash, and repeat. And of course, you're leveling up your gradient of being. You know, 6th dimension, 7th, 8th, 9th, and so on. 18th, 27th, 36th, 54, and so on. In an amplitude of 9, when you understand that 9 is the highest, most powerful number, and we use it within Taoism, we use it in all of our ancient practices, and the numerology is so powerful because it's reference to the constellations, which there are 27, and we have a secret one that is a multiplier of 27 within 9, and so on, etc. You understand what I'm talking about. The confusion is look over here, over here. Less is more over here, over here. And when you look at numerology within Taoism, within any sort of ancient Eastern practice, we have 28 constellations, and that's the reference of the extra. Anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, it's funny because, and I think people don't even realize, like you said, if you connect that to the dimensions, first dimension is concept, second dimension is conscious, third dimension is unconscious, which most people are running these kind of unconscious programs. Some may be good, some may be bad, and they kind of get stuck in that thing. And then when you level up, you get to that knowing of, whatever. And it might be something so simple. Like for me, I think about it like I could literally change a diaper blindfolded with one hand, standing on one foot, probably in a different room, and I could still do it. I've done it so many times. I have a feeling, I have a knowing. I completely it's so ingrained in, all of our kids growing up that it's like, that's just a part of me now. And it's like when you do something and it becomes that part of you, whatever it is, whether it's something, someone folds pizza boxes every single day and you look at them and they're like, I can do it in 2 seconds, and or like a Rubik's Cube or stuff that like it's the thinking is so far gone from it. It's just the feeling, the movement, and it's stuck. It's like that's where you start hitting that unconscious process, that knowing, and then the more you just level up on that being of like,
that's
yes,
all encompassing. That becomes
that's all
your
encompassing.
high states of gamma brainwave frequency, 40 hertz and above. That's cycles. That's crazy stuff. We're getting up there, and then of course you envelop 100% consciousness.
Yes, absolutely.
And then your operating system is controlled by you at will.
And that like simple,
and that's mastery.
Yeah, that just simple example of like more of a physical, you're doing something, also translates to how you think, your perception, how you how you perceive stuff, the voices you're hearing in your head. Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it just is? It also applies to all of that. It's not just a physical thing.
And that is the power of this shift and realization. And, now you come to accessing this consciousness. What do you do it? How is that tangibility realized using Neigong? And so when you first start shifting that, there's these little intricacies, and when you switch on the sacred infinite flower, and then you're activating the Ryu, and those crystals are realized within the pineal gland, that opens, the pure access to Heaven's Gate by way full 1,000, hertz. Let's just be real. I know I measure or no measure, I know I'm running 200 to 400 and then some. And let me just round it up to a nice number of 45 or 450, because the pure source information that comes through is undeniable. You watch someone who is in a state of flow, They don't blink.
Mm-mm.
They don't blink. Or if their processor is running so high, there's a fluttering. So there's two sort of dimensions to that. There's a fluttering. So ultimately, what I'm getting at is, you can get completely distracted by people giving you dozens of different ways to get to the same place, and they're completely fine for where you are in your consciousness. Understand that less is more. The simplicity of things can still be realized instantaneously, knowing that you can have access to something that I've mastered over 30 years by just being exposed to me and my frequency, my vibration, my energy. You are now able to realize all that I have access to instantly as a level up in your unconsciousness, creating something equal to or greater than. That's right. And you feel that, using the old model of the 4-minute mile. Oh my goodness, what does that mean? Well, it's quite simple. You accepting and allowing what is true, overriding your unconscious behavior, and watching someone do it from a neurological soft technology standpoint, understanding you have possession of the most high-tech tool that has ever presented itself in this universe, and you have it at will, being able to do anything and everything at once. Your sensory perception is limited by your imagination. So when you observe and feel this frequency that I transmit from this as a catalyst, a conduit, this tuning fork that we call the physical body, and I transmit that, and I can do this, and you go, whoa, whoa, he's fiddling with his hands, and it feels like there's energy coming. Well, it's not feeling like anything. Yeah, you're feeling the energy. It's 100. It's not I'm contemplating it in my mind. Am I really feeling this or not? But, you're feeling it. And so what happens is, you have these mirror neurons that replicate what you are exposed to. And that's at the base of your brain. And this is an interesting realization. This is something that we as Taoists have taught for thousands of years, and it's realized it's like what we consider the mirroring effect of the universe within the Ryu. So this neural network that you have at the base of your brain is basically, imagine it, because this is where you really get power, right? The top 1 percentile of the greatest movers and shakers that you could ever set your hands on comes from imagination. They are visionaries. When you are a visionary, you access everything instantly. So what happens is, let's visualize it. Come along with this ride with me, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. So we transmit an energy, frequency, vibration. It's realized in your field, has a rippling effect. Our magnetism draws each other together, and that can be from the distance of between me and the camera, and where you are in the world, on the other side of the world, at the same distance as Jade is right here. The magnetism, the electromagnetism that we transmit from each other becomes realized as whole, because that is what the quantum model is been identified with and validated as true. This is the entanglement that we speak of, the 0-point energy, the black hole singular energy that is represented from everything from a subatomic particle all the way up to the cells within your body, the 50 trillion cells, the flesh and blood that is realized through your DNA as a transmitter of all this as a whole. And we're all interconnected. Imagine we're enveloped in superglue. So we're all connected. This realization has a rippling effect. Thought, feelings, and emotion create a chemistry using your blood as a messenger, realizing a gene expression that then ripples back out into your electromagnetic field that is interconnected with Jade, interconnected with you and the audience. And this realization then has an effect on what we call your pineal gland, moreover, the magical Ryu with all these oscillating crystals, these geometric formed diamond, basically triangles or more pyramids within the Ryu, held within this magical Ryu that is identified as your pineal gland. And then it replicates whatever is transmitted into these mirror neurons, which we identify as a reflection of the universe, which you can imagine it as you're sitting in your favorite Rolls-Royce Phantom and you look up on the ceiling and it's just encrusted with all these little lights, these LED lights that are implanted into the ceiling that, all the players on your favorite Instagram reels use their Rolls-Royce Phantom to, hit the LED lights, hit the idea of the universe. Is quite ironic that they have the universe on the roof of these cars, and it's like it's a big selling point for the Rolls-Royce Phantom. It's like, look at this. It's like you're sitting under the stars and looking up at the universe. Wow. What happens then when you create that imagination? So that is actually your mirror neurons having a field day with that. That transmission replicates the universe. What does that mean, Sifu? Well, in a neuroplasticity level of the soft technology of your physical body, it's an amplifier and replicates whatever it receives instantaneously. You are realized. You have the superpowers that I have generated. You have the superpowers that I have accessed that have been handed down to me from generation to generation for thousands of years, and now it is yours to perceive. It is yours to receive. It's yours to realize, and then use it at will to empower yourself as the universe, accessing instant manifestation, instant healing, instant magic. Does that make any sense at all?
Absolutely.
And this is how people replicate the 4-minute mile. Mm-hmm. This is going on. You've been there. You've had that moment where you're watching a sporting event or you're in a concert, and the rippling effect of the integration of everyone in a like-minded state, which is from the perspective of a hypnotist, of a mentalist, of a therapist. You've created rapport with everything, which is nothing more than your Tao-given right that is handed to you as you are all, in all essence, all is one. You are the mother of all things. You are all-knowing, because that seed of the Tao that is the creator of all things is you. So that's why, you're at that concert, you get that music, and everyone's like, oh my goodness, and you feel so good. That pinnacle of that song that we speak of, that high gamma brainwave, 40 hertz and above frequency that's transmitted, that's infused and imprinted into that music, that makes you feel high as a kite every time you play. You can replay it over and over and over again. Understand that that's the signature that is equal to or greater than, that is realized within the field, as the field in the ebb and flow that is all dynamic, that is the 0 point energy, that is the quantum. That is go time, baby. And that's yours. And it's for you to take. So we are creators. We are creative, right down to the seed within us, which is the universe that's replicated as a holographic model of understanding, that you can take a cell, you can take a hair, you can take an arm. It all replicates as a whole, as the universe. You understand this from a fractal pattern. So this is how you're able to be the master, the keeper, the creator of your reality.
Well, you think about it like, what is a mentor? A mentor is someone that you strive to be, someone you look up to, someone who's already doing what you want to do in that physical form that you aspire to be like. That is, why it's so powerful. And so many of these people have these mentors or mentorships or people that they admire is because this person's doing what I want to do. I want to be like them. I want to be them. I want to achieve their success. I want to embody their essence, mindset, consciousness, whatever it is they strive to be. And that's why you admire that person, is because it's your imagination right in front of you. I want to be a billionaire. Guess what? My mentor is going to be someone who is a billionaire. I want to be a pro athlete. Guess what? My mentor is going to be a pro athlete who's done it, who's achieved it. I can see it in front of my face, everything I want, and I'm going to mirror what it is to be just like that.
Yeah. Mirror what it is. Mm-hmm. What a coincidence that you say that, Jay. Literally, the very words coming out of her mouth as an expression that has been generated over thousands of years and realized in what we call conversation, and her expressing herself as, an ism. It's a fact.
Yep.
This is part of why we say that, because you are literally accessing these mirror neurons.
Yeah. And I mean, in Taoism too, you talk about it all the time, the star stepping, how we mirror the constellations, whether it's, through our palms, whether it's physically on the ground.
Creating grids and
drawing
those
them.
Portals that are realized
Exactly.
instantaneously.
Is that mirror of the universe, that particular energy for a particular, whatever it is, you're using it for magic healing, you're mirroring. It doesn't have to just be a person. You're mirroring the universe. You're mirroring the field. You're mirroring whatever it is you want attracted to you, magnetized to you, pulled to you, to, again, be the master, keeper, creator of your reality.
Right. And so the fastest way to do that is to step away from the processing and just accept and allow. And that's why we always talk about the childlike state at face value, because that's where the power comes in. When it's at face value, it is all realized. Mm-hmm. Accept and allow, and all will be revealed.
I always laugh because our kids pretty much every night go, "Hey, Mom, what are we doing tomorrow?" And it's like, it's such a simple question, but it's such a powerful statement, because, most people are like, "Oh, okay, tomorrow I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to get this done." Or, it's Monday, I'm back to work again. I got to get this, I got to do this. And it's like, but for them, it's like, oh, it's a new day. What are we doing tomorrow? You know what I mean? It's that excitement, that wonder,
and
that just...
is that beautiful moment.
It is.
Of complete pure, being in awe of the magic of the next second, the next minute, the next hour. I embrace every second of every minute of every hour as if it's the first.
Mm-hmm. Being present.
And being in that present moment, that is your gift. Your gift is your offering. Your offering is your gift. It is the present. Oh. And so, what's the next entry of mastery is that visionary imagination that unlocks the doors to anything and everything. And so that's why moving energy with your mind using the ancient Neigong practices that we teach people to realize that is how you become so powerful at controlling this physical body, the energies that transmute as a realized holographic vision of this, because everything is wave to matter to particle. We've gone over this over and over again, the amount of, deconstructing of the architecture. Basically, everything is light, okay? And so when and the studies of this stuff even though I hate to continue to lean on physics. They've studied this. There's a couple of very clear peer-reviewed experiments that have been validated. Everything is light. Wherever your attention, intention goes, you transmute that from light to matter to particle. And the second you draw your eyes away from it, it turns back to light. And so one of the first things I like to get people to do within their mastery of their own Neigong is to take a candle, one of those dollar candles, whatever you got, I would get 2. And so there's a tremendous amount, as you activate your energetic body, and if you're doing the way 126, you want 126s out there, the power is on, because you are creating this infrastructure instantaneously, right? So after the first time you experience the way 126, it's realized. And so that power is on like Donkey Kong, and you're able to measure it on a daily basis, knowing how sensitive you are to the actual experience, taking complete mastery and control over your neurology, and being able to, master your mental emotional state. And you can replicate that feeling instantaneously, validating that you are there. Because it's nothing more than words. If Jade and I speak on it, if you can't validate it for yourself, it means nothing. So visual audible experience, creating the kinesthetic supercharge that is realized as the field, as that moment of manifestation, healing, and magic instantaneously. So you take 2 candles. For us, the Taoist candles are red. Red represents the Tao, the universe, the mother of all things. It's beautiful. It's whole. And when you look at it, all-encompassing, on a much greater reflection, well, Sifu, how does red turn out to be the Tao's colors? It's not even realized within the color spectrum of the waves of light from the sun that is reflected on the earth through the electromagnetic field that is projected from the earth, that reflects and transmits that direct ray light into this spectrum of lights that you realize as the rainbow. Well, Sifu, how does that even work? On a much deeper level, there's several misdirections, but the most important thing to realize is understanding the reflection of that light that translates into the color red, which is reflectant on you as a whole, which is the human body, which is the universe. There's many different degrees. At this point, I would have to go into a deep dive, but understand this and know this is representative as the universe, as the whole, as the mother of all things. And I will actually do a podcast on it, giving people a deeper understanding of how we get to that particular color. So you get these 2 candles, and if you've done the way 126 already, that's it. Like at this point, you realize, why do I feel like a lot of pressure in my eyes right now? You're welcome. And you're like, hang on a second, what is going on here? Because the amount of light that's coming from your byway, your heaven's gate, is transmitting into this swelling effect of energy. And all you do is put your attention, intention to it, and with the development of Neigong training, wherever you put your eyes, what do we know to be true? Wherever your attention goes, the energy flows. And so you can take 2 candles, light them, have them in a room without any air or any flow of energy. First and foremost, you're going to recognize there's something else in the room, because the candles will start flickering. You'll be like, there's no flow of air in here. What's going on? Because there is the presence of the Tao. The energy is clear. You've already opened the gates. If you're exposed to me or Jade or any of this material, you access that frequency, energy, vibration instantly. So you take these two candles, you light them, and then all I want you to do is sit in front of them. And you can literally put your attention, intention, put your eyes to one candle, and it'll start to wiggle. Turn your eyes to the other candle. The flame, yeah. Mm-hmm. The flame will start to wiggle. Put your eyes to the other candle, the flame, and it will start to wiggle. And you'll be like, that's just a coincidence. Then you'll turn away, and then turn back, and then you'll turn away, and you'll look at it and be like, there's no flame moving. And you turn back, and then you start moving back and forth and going, whoa, how is that possible? Because that's the energy, baby. Mm-hmm. And you are creating wave to matter to particle instantaneously. And the amplitude of that energy is so palpable because you've already been exposed to the Way 126, that integration of Neigong, qigong, quantum physics, epigenetics, 11 herbs and spices of proprietary Taoist practices that are integrated within the visual audible experience, creates this simulated, evoking new synapses, information energy highways of your brain, and you are mastered. Your neurology is turned on. That soft technology is instantaneous, and you're able to transmute it using your eyes. You're like, whoa. This is like a party trick. Well, it starts there, but understand that wherever your attention goes, remember, your brain doesn't know the difference between something that you have experienced or something that you have created in your imagination. What does that mean, Sifu? That means that you can access any consciousness, any dimension at will. And once you start to train, and create this palpable, energetic connection that you have, you can move the energy any way you want, in as many directions, equally as you want, all day, every day.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's really funny. We always have like Thanksgiving's coming up. So, you have your favorite meal for Thanksgiving, or you have your favorite food, you go see your family. And for some reason, it always tastes better on Thanksgiving. Like right. You could and I ask my, and I always joke with you. It's like, why don't I make this all the time? Like, why don't I just make this on a Wednesday night? Why do I have to wait to Thanksgiving? But there's an energetic charge to it. In that environment, with your energy gets put, you're in the space, you're praying, you're with your family, that food, even though you might eat it 2 weeks before, tastes totally different in that environment, within that context of everything your intention put into it. And it's such a incredible thing, just like you said, where your eyes go, the energy flows, your attention goes, the energy flows. And you can kind of notice it in those little aspects of your life already, mm-hmm. and start replicating it to wherever you want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so that's the power of your connection. So you switch that on, you switch that Ryu on, you switch on the sacred infinite flower within the sacred infinite garden, within the earth, and you are activating this incredible synergy in this neural network that is realized.
Now help people, because I mean, we obviously have one, we have our temple. What is a Ryu? Or give a description for anyone who's maybe scepter, just listening.
It's a scepter that we use within Taoism. It's an ancient scepter that has been used through Eastern practices, through China, and basically it looks like a scepter. And I'll bring one on. At some point, I'll bring it down from one of the altars. And it's a very, very powerful tool that we use within crafting and creating our magic. And, when it's realized within, the upper dantian and those 81 chambers, all bets are off. And so that activation and using the three pure ones, the pineal, pituitary, and thalamus, activating that on another level with that Ryu. And so it's all integrated as we speak on this stuff from a simplistic level, understanding the neurology. Once you activate those mirror neurons, you can acquire instant skill, realized, enveloping your whole brain, making you 100% conscious and 100% creative, 100% porous to affecting your change any way you want, mastering it, say it, and it's done. Healing is instant, manifestation is instant, magic is instant.
Yeah, and the Ryu is just like an ancient Taoist magical tool that we would use that, I mean, wouldn't you say just harness? It's like an instant energy harness.
Yeah.
You know, for anyone who maybe hasn't tapped into that black hole energy yet, it's enveloped, it's full. Just like some people they like to hold crystals and they're like, I feel the energy from it. You input the energy into it and it's like a giant battery device that just stores energy, and once you tap into it within yourself, whew.
Right. And, on a deeper level, if you look at it from a profile, it actually resembles the shape of the number 9. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Really, I mean, come on. Yeah, you can take that one to the bank and digest that one.
It does.
So, we have these intricate little details that all, are put together to create this much bigger picture. And the most important thing is that, everyone has the tools to do it. It's just being realized at that moment of consciousness. And the fastest way to get there is you're only limited by your imagination.
Right.
And so that imagination is key to all things. That imagination is key to the power that you have within you. And we do that, like you can use that exercise I gave you. And then we're going to do another one before we finish up here today, that I'm going to draw in the spirit and energy of specific colors. And you're going to be able to see them either with your eyes closed in your third eye or with your eyes open, depending upon what amplitude you want to tap into what has already been realized within all my clear senses. And you will have that realized yourself instantly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why we get back to just the simplicity of like finding someone or something that you look up to, that you want, that's already been achieved, that's been accessible, your imagination in this reality form, and it could be it doesn't have to be like a specific person. You could go, hey, I really admire this company. They've sold over 1 million units of XYZ. And that's just such an achievement that I'm looking forward to in my business. Find something where it's been realized, and then focus on that, hold on to that, research all of that stuff, and let it all come into you, and watch that magnetism of whatever that goal is for you or whatever you want to achieve just start coming closer, closer, closer until it is realized.
And that's the power of what we speak of. That's the excitement of all things. And, we use a specific sequence of colors that realize certain stuff. Like we released some stuff within social media recently using specific respiratory exercises that instantly tap into deep states of consciousness and your ability to access these things. If you follow them, it's on like Donkey Kong. Things like erasing your mind, like thoughts of your mind, because all thoughts of your mind, or activating high states of consciousness within your pineal gland using respiration. These things are all realized. You follow what we tell you, and you will instantly have access to this stuff.
Very powerful. Very,
Very
powerful
powerful.
techniques that can work for anybody just at will, you know. You rewatch the video or rewatch the, super short clip, and it's like, do it. I'm
Right.
not even going to say the word try it. I'm going to say do it.
Right. and this is about you leveling up. You get these acquired skills, and it becomes more and more ingrained. That means that you access it faster. So when you're doing this stuff, whether you're a 126er or you're just following the stuff here within the podcast, the more you apply it, the faster you access that energy, frequency, vibration. And for the next time, it comes even quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker. I've literally, at a certain point, I've had hours and hours of training, and I would do it on a daily basis, that now I can realize within a second.
Probably.
Which was something that, I'd spent a lot of time on. And that's the whole mastery of what we're speaking of. You will master it so it's obtained and accessed faster than you ever thought before, because we're moving faster than light speed. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you access that power, that's when all bets are off.
Mm-hmm. And that's the mastery and training of anything. It's like these thoughts and concepts are no different to apply it to whatever it is that you want. We're just framing it in a consciousness aspect where, some people go, oh, I've been this way for 20 years. I'm never going to change. No, not at all. That's, let me do it.
Well, instantly you
It
have
is. I mean, you have the ability.
And that's you should step back and listen to what people say, because they're limited by their own belief system.
Imagination.
And your truth is the only truth you need to be concerned with. And when you finally have that epiphany, you'll realize you can access anything and everything at will, and it can be realized like this. Knowing this, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're empowered. You have the ability. Your access to Jade and I, and the thousands of years of training that we have access to, that we have acquired, that we teach people in, is instantly accessed. Know this to be true. That power is yours. Using your neural network, understanding that replication that takes place between the two of us, the three of us, the millions of us that are all integrated into this very experience. And, as I level up in the energy, any sort of practice or anything, anyone that's associated, they feel that shift of energy instantaneously, because we're all connected.
Could it possibly be the mirror neurons? The more they
Could it
watch,
possibly
watch you.
Possibly be that electromagnetic field that we're all integrated into, that you can instantly access thoughts, feelings, and emotions, create a thought, feeling, and emotion, have a rippling effect within the field as you are, creating something equal to or greater than your very essence. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so, understanding that power, using Neigong, qigong, and so, just the breathing and just me talking, you can feel that build of energy. Like, I'm so finely tuned to it. Like, I just talk, and I feel this literal density of energy in my chest, because everything I do is accumulating that energy buildup. It's like, normal respiration is no longer normal. I'm breathing from the physical body. I'm not breathing from my respiration. I'm not breathing from my nose and mouth. I'm breathing from here. And in actuality, I'm breathing from the earth, the truth teller, the sacred infinite garden, the sacred infinite flower, instantly being realized. And that energy is like, how could I describe it? It would be like you feel like some pressure on your chest. There's so much energy going on there. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, what's the stat? Someone did a study on like how many calories you burn running versus like how many calories you burn like running energy or meditating. And it was like 7 times the amount or something when you do it running the energy.
Well, yeah,
I can't remember
when
what
you
it
run the
is.
chi and you attune yourself the way Jade and I are teaching you, you can literally run the juice for through and this is some of the effects that people keep. This is a constant thing, but they do the 126 and they're like, I'm starting to get really hot. I'm feeling this heat because this is the energy. And so you are like burning excessive amounts of calories. If you do a 27-minute experience with the way 126, it's equivalent to 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of relaxation, 8 hours of meditation, and also you're burning, in excess of 3,000 to 5,000 calories. 3,000 to 5,000 calories. 3,000 to 5,000 calories. 3,000 to 5,000 calories.
I know, that's crazy.
And so that is part of, what? You said what? And so when you eat something, because you run so much chi, you feel it instantly like converted to energy. Or if you move, you feel instantly converting that energy. It's realized like this.
Yeah, no, that's always so crazy. And you feel it. Like you feel like you're burning from the inside. And not like a bad burning, just like hot.
Easy.
Like, yeah. I mean, like you just
Well, yeah,
feel
your core temperature is
your
elevated.
core temperature
So,
just feels like
Right.
like I'm working out, but I'm not. I'm just sitting here. I'm watching. I'm
Right.
watching a video. But you literally feel your blood flow, like just
Right.
pumping.
Right. Well, it's energy, but
Yeah.
blood flow, you could assimilate it to that. You could associate it with that. You could realize it as that. And that heat transmission is the interconnection of those 50 trillion cells realized as a transmission as a whole, and now it's being transmuted and released from your physical body as this rippling effect as the field. And so your attention, intention instantly realized within action as this amplitude of energy. It's like, holy moly, I can feel it. It's like, just like you can feel it right now.
Yeah.
That's what takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So understanding, covering what we did today in relation to the imagination, the gateway, using your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, generating through the neural network of your physical body the ability to access anyone's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, access anyone's experience, and replicate it yourself through that rippling effect as we're all interconnected, puts you in the master seat, the driving seat, the realization that you are the master, keeper, creator of your reality, being able to transmute and direct energy, frequency, vibration any way you want. And it's palpable. And that's why we always talk about you must feel it. When you feel it, all of a sudden it's realized. Critical to the result. And so, yeah, that's the power of it. Moreover, recently, having direct, sessions with Latsu, and people are just like, oh my goodness, what am I feeling? Is it love? What is it? The presence of God? Yeah, it's all of the above. You can feel that transmission, that energy instantly, because that's what happens. And that's the power of what we do. So when we work on this so what we covered today was quite interesting. The gateway to using Neigong, using your mind to move energy, and qigong, using your respiration to move energy, your breath, you're able to transmute this. And when I speak on these two things, all of a sudden you're like, oh, kind of feeling heavy. Like if I think about something, I feel like there's a condensing of energy. Oh, yeah. When I'm breathing, I'm feeling like this density of pressure on my chest, because now we've activated these two things. And you're like, holy moly. And, of course, you guys are rippling into what is already realized that I've created in relation to bringing in the spirit and energy of these particular colors, and all of a sudden jade is having an effect that you're having at home, which is this dense energy pressure, head and chest, and then all of a sudden it's like just you moving your hands, and it's kind of difficult to. There's a lot of things going on here.
Thickness.
Very thick, and so we'll draw in on the energy. We'll draw in on the spirit and the energy of these things, and then you can realize it. So all I'm going to do, because you're now riding the dynamic wave of my sound of my voice within the field as the field, and it's being realized as you, and you're like, he's talking and I'm feeling it as if it's rippling and echoing in my chest. Yes, that's part of the power of what we're talking about here. So that interconnection that we speak of, that we're realizing right now, that echoing effect is part of this bigger experience. And so I'm going to call in the spirit and energy of 3 colors. They will realize in your mind with your eyes open or closed. And every time I call them in, first you will receive the experience of it using your neural network that's realized, because it's already amplified and interconnected with everything I say now. So this is all we need to do. And you're like, oh. And so when I say it, you feel the presence of that spirit and energy coming in. And it's realized within your physical body, replicated through your neural network, the soft technology, and those mirror neurons are realizing it. And you're like, holy moly, your whole nervous system is reverberating because of the experience. And every time I draw the color in, you will draw in through your nose, hold it for 3 seconds, and then exhale. So I'll be in, hold, 1, 2, 3, and that will start to accumulate within your upper dantian, this particular color. Happen 3 times, and the end result is the magnitude and the concentration and the condensing of that energy in your upper dantian, and then of course realized how powerful those colors are instantly. What is it?
Yeah, no, he's feeling it too.
Oh, my son is feeling it also. So when we do this, this will sort of take you out to La La Land. I want you guys to just embrace it, and whatever happens, and you will return as need be as your consciousness draws you back in. But understand the rippling effect of what this has on you. You will see these vibrant colors at a level that you've never experienced before, because you're accessing a gateway, a frequency that is greater, this consciousness that we speak of, that we continually level up on. And so you're accessing all the ancient Taoist practices that are tens of thousands of years old, handed down from generation to generation, being realized right now. And this particular one masters your interconnection with the Neigong, which instantly attaches your ability to wipe your mind, and then whatever you want to create within your mind at that point, you can speak on it, place, person, or thing. It will be realized in your mind as a backdrop. So the crazy part is that image will come in, and it'll be as if you used like CapCut and cut out the background, and the image of that person is there without any context but the image, or the place, or the person, or the thing will be realized within your mind, whether your eyes are open or closed. You'll see it with your eyes open if your clairsenses are leveled up at that level, or with your eyes closed, you'll see it in your third eye. And then you can literally amplify that experience of that place, person, or thing, or delete it. And when I say delete it, I mean delete it and it's gone. And you're like, whoa, what is going on here? Well, you're getting direct access. And this is the mastery of Neigong that has been going on for thousands of years. This is how you transmute that energy and become the master keeper creator. And that's for you. And you have been exposed to us, so you instantly access this superpower. And you will be the validator of this once you experience it. Good luck, you're never leaving home. Which is always a profound thing as we lean on the scripture. It's always clear. Let the man who's never left his village, let him know he's seen the world. Take that for a minute. Mic drop. Mm-hmm. So, eyes open or closed. You've already hooked into the frequency, energy, vibration of my voice. So my voice is now having a rippling effect on you as the hollow flute that is echoing the very essence of all things transmitted from me. And now all we have to do is I will call in the spirit and energy of the color, celestial color of a red, realized right here, right now. Inhale, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Oh my goodness. Now I'm going to call in the color of purple, the celestial color of purple, welcoming the spirit and energy of celestial purple, realized. Inhale, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Oh my goodness. And then the final color in this particular sequence is welcoming the spirit and energy of platinum, gold, and silver in a phosphorus white color, realized right now. Inhale, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Oh my goodness. Now, all that density, everything that is created, all that incredible, fireworks of visualization that is being created. Now, understand this, depending upon where your journey is. First, you've realized the physical, the energetic, and depending upon where you're at in your own clairvoyance development, it will start to poke through like, pinholes through a sheet that's covering a bright light, and the light will start pouring in. And whether it's realized right now or it takes you 1 or 2 more experiences, your access to that energy, frequency, or vibration will be instantaneous. So take that magical mystery visual realization. This is a very ancient Neigong technique. And now with your respiration, you're starting to feel that pulsating in your head. You're seeing the visualization. And now let it be one with all. And anyone that can hear me in the distance, stay right there where you are. Or if you are more in this present moment and you are just immersed in all things, allow, receive, experience. Let that soak in, let that seep in, all that beautiful divine density that is the energy, that is the frequency, that is the vibration, all the imagery that is being created instantly from drawing in the spirit and energy of those colors. And that's a sequence that is very ancient and very secret and very sacred. And you have been exposed to it today, realized it instantaneously, creating the imagery which is the foundation of Neigong. Oh yeah, my goodness. And on that note, I would like to thank my humble, my divine, delectable co-host, High Priestess Jade, as she experiences her magical mystery ride. And I am your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn. And I'll see you on the next one, guys.